On August 11th, Xi Jinping, regime leader of the CCP, said he is determined to stop food waste in restaurants. After he gave the order, everyone from the government to private sectors took action. This has led to a speculation as to whether China is facing a food crisis. After Xi's order to stop food waste in restaurants, the Legislative Affairs Committee of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China decided on August 13th that it would establish a working group to plan a Food Appreciation Act. CCTV and other major state-run media also participated in the campaign, urging citizens to limit their food consumption. People's Daily collected Xi's talks on food and distributed them in an important speech series. CCTV even criticized live streams of excessive eating as a serious waste of food. Moreover, many restaurant and dining industry associations in different cities in China began to promote the N1 Ordering Initiative and Empty Tray Action. The N1 initiative limits ordering to 9 dishes for every 10 diners. The Empty Tray Action encourages people to make sure all food is eaten or taken home instead of wasting it. Some of the largest short video platforms like Douyin and Kuaishou have already removed many videos of excessive eating and even deleted accounts belonging to big eaters. These series of actions have led to a speculation as to whether China is facing a food crisis.
Because China is a nation that relies heavily on importing food, and if their own food production is affected, then having food on the table is indeed a huge problem for them. The epidemic affected the spring planting this year. Many places were locked down and people were not allowed to go out, so agricultural production is severely affected this year.
The food shortage will come this year. Why? This is related to the pandemic, the heavy flooding, and China's agricultural policies. Because of China's agricultural policies, the agricultural crops are sold at a very cheap price. Farmers basically receive no profits from cultivating, so they are not motivated to cultivate at all. Under such situations, plus natural and man-made disasters, shortage of food is inevitable.
This year, from January to July, disasters keep happening throughout China. In addition to the outbreak of the CCP virus, in the second quarter of the year, massive floods in the south caused flooding in many important crop production areas in 27 provinces around Yangtze River, Huaihe River Valley in southwest China. Hailstorms and drought hit northern China, while severe locust outbreaks occurred in parts of the north. On August 12th, the National Food and Strategic Reserves Administration of China released a report on the purchase of summer crops that showed a decrease of 30% in purchasing of wheat from provinces like Hebei, Jiangsu, Anhui, Shandong, and Henan.
This is only the summer crops. In fact, autumn crops will be much worse because many production areas for autumn crops are submerged in water. Plus existing pests and diseases, including the threat of locusts, the food crisis in China this year can be seen everywhere.
However, official media in Jiangsu and Henan continue to report a good harvest of summer crops. They even claimed that the production of summer crops has reached a record high again in Henan province. The state-run media, Xinhua News, argued that the decrease in summer crops purchases was due to the epidemic, which made farmers reluctant to sell their grain as they wanted to keep it in their households. Nevertheless, on August 13th, Middle Class Life Observation, a public WeChat account, published an article disclosing that at the end of May, he understood that wheat production in his hometown, Zhoukou City, Henan Province, has reduced 30 to 40%. Because of the reform of crop purchases and reserves, farmers do not have extra crops on hand. He believes that the announcement of abundant harvest of summer crops made by local media in Henan is to provide set thinking and political correctness. Looking back at history, on August 13th, 1958, People's Daily had also exaggerated the harvest of rice as early rice yields 36,900 pounds per acre. At the time, production of crops was falsely reported in many places during the Great Leap Forward, leading to famine that caused tens of millions of people to die from starving. In addition, one of the 3 anti-campaigns in the early years of the Chinese Communist Party was the anti-waste campaign, which eventually had an impact on the economy and led to many unjust cases.
History will repeat itself because the CCP only knows to divert conflicts. The ineffective governance led to the reduction of crop production. The ineffective policies made people unwilling to cultivate crops, and the corruption led to the corruption of food reserves. Under those circumstances, how does the CCP divert the food crisis? Now it's like someone has committed a huge crime by wasting a little bit of food in his meal.
Professor Lee believes that the CCP can no longer make as much US dollars as it did before during the pandemic and with US-China trade deal. In addition to the depletion of foreign reserves, the CCP is unwilling to spend US dollars to purchase food. This is also the fundamental reason for the Empty Tray Action campaign and for attacking food waste.